thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to participate in this company-wide training effort. We're going to be learning about ACT today, and the ACT formula. The ACT training is a method of engaging. Also, I want to put out there that in training for this one being probably the most meaningful one because we're getting started. If it's okay with you guys, I'll be doing a little bit more reading out of the book than what I'm used to. I would like to put it on a cue card, but I will still be walking around and hopefully making it meaningful that way for you. But I'll be doing a little bit more reading out of the book if that's okay with you guys. Is that fine?
Absolutely.
Thank you. The ACT formula training is a method of engaging every one of us of our company, regardless of our position. So the beautiful thing about this is from a service writer or parts manager to dealer principal to an LIS to a leader, all of us are making a deeper connection, and this is a very open, genuine forum where we get to be who we are and make a difference and have a deeper understanding of one another, as we feel that the more we know about one another, the better we can be in understanding the values of accountability plus communication plus trust, which equals success. It's a simple equation that leads to a very significant return on an investment, hopefully in a short amount of time. But the thing is making it count every day and doing something meaningful. The ACT formula heightens the awareness to be more accountable, to be a great communicator, and be trustworthy, which we believe equals success. This is a tool for all of us to engage and be directed to work individually, also in small groups or as a whole group, depending on the exercise or activities that we're going to be going through. Also to lay out that this is a 4-module training program, that the initial basics of the ACT program is going to be 1 through 9, where we're really going to get into the accountability and the communication and the trust, as well as 10 through 13 is going to be a little bit more focus on reinforcement activities to practice our skills and build a sustained effort. And lessons 14 through 17 include an open forum, more about being open and really talking and getting to know one another. Also, I know that a lot of you do know me, but some of us might be new. So I'm going to introduce myself, and if you would like, we're also going to go around the room just so that way, if you're from parts or maybe you don't know somebody from the LIS side, that way we all get a little bit more comfortable with one another. And I'm going to start with me. I'm going to give if you could give your name and give what you do for Freedom Auto Group and how long you've been with us. I am Donnie Franz. I've been in LIS, which is a life improvement specialist, sales, for about 16 years. I'm a new team leader on the Toyota and Hyundai side, and I think I gave you everything backwards. You don't have to go in order either.
All right, I'm Wes Miller. I'm in the parts department. I work with Chrysler and Toyota. I've been in the industry for 11 years, and now this is going to be 8 years with Freedom.
Wes, thank you.
I'm new. It's Greg Gorick. I'm just joining Free Automotive, and my job is to help bring our team together and help our individuals and team members grow so the company can grow.
Very nice. Sheena?
I'm Sheena Sheena Durensick. I am a team lead for Toyota and Hyundai with you. And I've been here for a little over a year.
Nice.
My name is Noah. I'm currently a team leader in CEM down at Harrisburg, Chrysler. I will be working at Hamburg, starting on Monday.
Very nice. Miss Bonnie, we all know who you
Yes.
are. So I'd like to start out, I believe this is on page 4, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm going to refer to the book if that's okay. The accountability module in lesson 1. It is not only what we do, but also what we don't do for which we are accountable. By Moliere. The purpose, to understand the importance of the ACT formula. Accountability plus communication plus trust equals success, which we just mentioned a little bit ago, and how it will help us create an environment of excellence. And the importance, when we act accountable, communicate effectively, and are trustworthy, we not only have pride in our work, but we increase the opportunity for innovation, improve customer satisfaction, and create a workplace that others envy, which is truly what we want. Would one of you like to read the to be accountable part, the to be accountable means
I would.
for me? Thank you, Sheena.
To be accountable means being held answerable for accomplishing a goal or assignment, as well as taking ownership of a weak or failed performance. Being accountable is not intended for those who wish to blend into their surroundings, be anonymous, or point fingers in the direction of others when things don't work out as planned.
No, that's great, thank you. So the meaning behind it, being accountable, can you see the value in that? According to Mark Samuel, accountability means people can count on one another to keep performance, commitments, and communication agreements. Accountability can result in increased synergy, a safe climate for experimentation, and change and improve solutions because people feel supported and trusted. And that sounds like a recipe for success. So I'd like to talk a little bit about what accountability means for all of us. Is that I have not been a facilitator before, but I've been a part of what ACT is and what it means and that kind of thing. So this is kind of new to me. But sharing this, I think, is being a part of it, making a connection about it, that our mission is to create a culture where every day our customers and employees feel valued. I think it's a value story. Our services and our cars are consistently sought after, and we attract only the most talented and most suited members to join our company when needed, collectively building and growing an amazing culture, which is the tool of what this is all about. And what I'd like to do is also establish some ground rules. We all know how important part of this is, and we want to make it an important part of our day, that each week when we get together, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to make some ground rules. I'm going to put this, can everybody see this? Okay? Things that are very, very important to you in order to be accountable for the meeting. I'm going to listen. If you guys could give me some of your important rules, I'm going to write them up here as you guys give them.
Be on time.
Be on time?
Be attentive.
i's and t's in that.
One person's speaking in front.
Thank you. Person speaking in front.
Make a contribution.
Respect each other's opinions.
I respect that answer. Very good one. Is that good? All caps? I've been told there are hieroglyphics already. Anything else that's very important to you?
I'm requesting that I'm not chomping on the same.
How about
No phone?
cell phones technology? Can we put them on silent or put them away to make sure that we make it count every time?
Now, if I like to use my computer or my cell phone to take notes, is that acceptable in here or no?
Thank you for asking. I appreciate that very much.
You didn't answer it.
So, what is it?
Oh, I'm new. I'm a little new. Yes, if you're going to be making notes on the computer, on your phone, you're not, are you going to bring a laptop to class? Because if you do and you're
I
making
might.
notes, that's okay with me.
But I type faster than I would probably chicken scratch.
Okay, I appreciate you. Put phones on silent or away. Unless Sheena is making notes.
Just me. I give it one.
Does anybody else make notes on their technology? Well, if you do, it's okay. Pictures.
Pictures are okay?
Donnie, would you like me to take notes and see what it feels like?
You can if you'd like. I'll probably be fine with it. Pretty easy to get along with. How does everybody else feel about other people making notes while we make it count here every day? Is that fine?
I think it's distracting myself.
Okay. 'Cause sometimes when
Do you hear this?
yeah, sometimes one thing might affect somebody else. We want to make sure that the feels are good. Good. How are our rules looking?
Are they,
Feel good? They look
are they in a specific order? Or are they all just as important?
I say we're all just as important. I just put 1 through 6 for no
Not being
apparent
answered.
reason at all, just so that way I can count them. That makes me happy. Anything else you guys would like to add?
Can we add as we go?
Yes. Yes, you can. So, we are about to embark on a learning experience that will transform the workplace and help each of us gain personal insight, interactions that we have with one another, and how they affect overall performance. In today's world of business, mediocrity, just getting by, and a lack of commitment are no longer acceptable. The ACT formula will help create an awareness of how each employee, how everything affects us, our tasks, and our interactions, and how they can add value to Freedom Auto Group environment and quality of work produced. We're challenged to be open-minded in the fact that this change will result in a more satisfying work environment and experience every day. Point out that this effort will require active involvement, openness, honesty from everyone without fear of retribution. Share your commitment and create in this environment. So it's very important to be open, be able to be yourself, and that kind of thing. And remember, I'm no different from you. I'm learning and I'm growing, and I'm a part of this as well. I think that's very important to convey that we're all making a difference together, and we're all here for one another. Respecting, we were talking about respecting each other's opinions and being able to support each other is what it's about. I think it's about, it says a positive impact not only on the company, but us personally. From you like that. Okay, and we all have ideas, assumptions, preconceived notions of what is working, what may not be working, and I think it's going to be important to be able to express yourself openly and honestly. They might not always be correct, and I mean this for myself as well, is that my ideas or maybe my insights might not be the best ones. But sharing this journey together that we're about to embark on will bring a deeper awareness of where we might fall short and what we can do to improve in our services, our products, our environment, and our relationships with one another. And not only us, but with our customers, because we are customers. Everybody is a customer. How we treat each other is equally as important as everybody else. If you would, turn to page 5 in your guide. We're going to get into the Get to Know You bingo. And what I'd like you to do is, kind of like what we did in the beginning, is getting to know one another, is having an experience where you can have each other answer important questions and statements in these boxes, in the bingo. Like who plays a musical instrument, learning about one another, exploring what's important to one another. You don't have to sit down right where you're at. You could get up and you could move all around, and you want to know as many things as you possibly can, as quick as you can, because remember, it's bingo, and you want to complete one column. It could be up and down, it could be horizontally, or it could be diagonally. We're going to do that as quick as we can, and as soon as one of you guys get that, we're going to yell bingo. You all set? Go.
Yeah, you do? All right, I swear to God, Gina, you just win very quickly.
No, I want to
Yes.
Sports team?
You enjoy grocery shopping.
I
It's
do
fine.
enjoy grocery shopping, at least acquiring the fish.
How about, do you like fish?
I do love the fish.
Compares
Let's
our.
see. Did you have a pet number, Chad?
I did. God.
You probably got it.
Dogs.
Did you play on a sports team in school?
Yes.
You speak a second. That's the.
You.
Played on a sports team?
I did.
Oh, no, you did.
Yeah. You know,
Do you have to,
Totally.
you happen to have 5 or more electronic devices?
Yes.
All right, bingo.
Wes got it.
No, I was, I don't know, I was acting, I was being. I'll be, stop it.
Wes, could you tell me a little bit about what you learned in your bingo line?
Yeah, learned that Noah played on a sports team in school.
Okay.
I did not get that far in depth. It was based on quickness. But what kind of team did you play on?
In sports,
Yeah.
I wrestled in elementary school, middle school, high school, and college.
He's counting.
And I played soccer in high school. Please stop.
Is that WWE?
I just learned.
And I played soccer at middle school and high school to stay in shape for wrestling. It was all that.
Nice. Greg plays a musical instrument. Donnie likes to fish. That's cool. She has 5 or more electronic devices, so that's how I got to the bottom out.
Okay. She's also taking notes with her cell phone, which is great. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for learning a little bit about each other. And I hope that was exciting for you guys.
It was, and I started to do
guys would please turn to page 6 in your guide. We're going to read through the expectation sheet out loud. You could volunteer, actually, although we could probably go in order if you're comfortable with that. Wes, are you comfortable with that?
Yep.
We're
I'm
going
going
to
to start from the
with
top with the header. Expectations. Today is a new day. We cannot change what happened a week ago or 1 minute ago. Today is a new day. Going forward, the environment in our organization will attract the best customers and new team members because they will want to be part of our success. Our mission is to deliver the best quality services and or products possible to every customer, every time, no excuses. To achieve that goal, every person within this organization must be willing to make the commitment to practice the ACT formula. The ACT formula is accountability plus communication plus trust equals success.
Thank you. Do you want to do the be accountable part?
Sure.
Thank you.
Be accountable for your work and your actions always. No excuses. If you drop the ball, know that your teammates' workload, time, and energy will be unnecessarily compromised. Accountable people measure twice and cut once. Accountable people are professional in their thoughts, actions, and appearance. Accountable people improve the quality of their lives and the lives of those around them by just being accountable.
Be a great communicator, no excuses. It is easy to communicate because we have so many methods of communication. Use communication to be proactive with your customers and teammates by keeping them informed. Even if you do not have the answer to their question, let them know that you are working on it. Communicate frequently. It will differentiate you from your competition and make your teammates appreciate you that much more. Being a great communicator is also about being a great listener. A great listener listens, interprets, and offers the best solutions to fit the specific needs of customers and teammates alike.
Be trustworthy, no excuses. When a customer wants to purchase a product or service, the transaction can only occur when the customer trusts the person from whom they will be purchasing. Building trust is about eye contact, sincere care and concern for the customer's goals and outcomes, being proactive by keeping up to date on industry knowledge and making sure that all the little details are taken care of, therefore making it easy to do business with you. Being trustworthy with your teammates is about watching each other's backs, making sure that things do not fall through the cracks, and being honest with each other regarding our performance. People lose trust when they cannot count on you.
So let me see a show of hands. How many of you prefer to work harder and for more hours than is needed? Nobody, right? So this happens in our company and many other companies more than it should. Many times it happens because someone in the company loses sight of the ball or an assignment that has a direct impact on what you need to get done. The ACT Formula training program will give us the tools to raise awareness of our accountability, communication, and trustworthiness so that while we still work hard, we will work with a greater sense of pride and commitment to our work and each other. And that takes us one step closer to improving the quality of life during our workday. So it's not always about working harder, but a more thoughtful, right? More thoughtful process. Does this make sense to you? And who would like to share their thoughts on that specifically?
Let's just see how they're all connected. Accountability, communication, trust, how they all, if you start with one, the other two will come out shortly afterwards. It sounds like a good plan to build a better team.
Almost like if it's accounted for, then it's not about working harder or longer. It's a little bit more of a refined, figured out, helping each other.
Yeah, I like the no excuses part.
What happens when these components are not part of the workday. Like the teamwork that we were talking about, or how smooth it might be.
Hard on the workplace. Somebody does somewhere.
It adds up. Any other thoughts?
Well, it's nice that we all have the same common language, that we understand like the base for everything we do. So that kind of brings us together as a team. Once we learn how to do it.
Yeah, very nice. So we're gonna get a little bit more in depth with this as well. I was talking a little bit about the basics and what we're going to be covering over the first 9 lessons. Just, making this accountability, we have a couple lessons on accountability and getting it further and getting a little bit deeper on what accountability is and what it means for all of us. When it comes to accountability, has anyone here had, other than our company, an experience with another company where you felt that they were very, very accountable for the way they treated you? Whether you went on vacation or just any company that would come to mind that you thought really, really had a great culture.
Disney.
Very accountable.
Disney.
Disney? Okay.
It's very specific, but smoke and braise,
Okay.
barbecue in Hamburg.
Right.
Never had a less than 110% experience with those people.
Okay. Was there something that you took from their experience where you could say, hey, I appreciate them?
Yeah, what do they do?
Kindness. To be
Okay.
honest. Their interactions, they really do try to make a connection. They're just very openly kind. It was just refreshing to go into a place and not just have a normal experience.
Right. It makes you feel good. And for Disney, was there anything specifically that really stood out in your mind or your thoughts that made you feel good about that?
It's just the process, the way they do stuff. I mean, from the time you're there until you think you're in character, no matter where you are. You are physically taking on a role and you're doing it for someone else's benefit, not yours. I mean, you're doing it so my 7-year-old can look at you and think you're Jasmine,
Mhm.
or in this case, Aladdin,
Right.
and go with it.
Non-sports like
Non-sports playing Aladdin.
Right.
But I just think it's very cool. It's just a mindset they have, like I said, it's their culture and they all do it. And if one person doesn't, that's all you need is to find Jasmine over in the corner smoking her cigarette or doing something
Sure.
she's not supposed to on a break. And
Okay.
now how does that look when a kid goes up?
Right.
So they're fully character, 100%.
Right. Accountability it's a feel. It's also something that, when you arrive at Disney, obviously, the accountability, you kind of almost see it everywhere. Like they care, right? Any others?
Well, I mean, think of any time you go to a nice restaurant and people are consistent, and the food is consistently good, it creates that feeling that they're holding each other accountable for it. And conversely, when you see a bad experience, you have the opposite impression. I think it's something we see in our daily lives as we, go to the supermarket, right? And if the produce section looks really good, but the fish doesn't look good, you kind of get that feeling that maybe it's not a good place. But if everything's buttoned up, then you really get the feeling that everyone's working together and they're taking responsibility for their own areas and making it work.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Makes a
counterpart of
difference.
that, there's a place, the only one I know of is in Inner Harbor, Baltimore. And it's Dick's something resort.
This last week's.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
where their culture is they're rude to you. I went there for my birthday, they threw papers at me, made me stand on a chair for everybody to tell me they didn't care it was my birthday. And it's the complete opposite feeling, is that they're doing opposite of everywhere else and people love it. I mean, that place was packed, and from what I hear and what I read, they're always packed.
Hmm.
So now think about that, people are paying to go somewhere for your service to be rude.
I guess
It's a
So
culture
accountability
they're
there.
paying
could
for an
be,
experience.
and the accountability could be what you do, and I guess it could also be what you don't do.
But you don't.
They set the example, huh? Please turn to page 7 and 8 in your guide. We're going to go over the exercise, define accountability. And what we'll do is we will define it. And what does accountability mean for you? I'll put it up here. Oh God, they just watched me eat. Watch me eat my Define accountability. We're going to use 1 or 2-word statements for each one. We'll number them. Though most people wouldn't, I number everything. What is accountability? Could be a little longer than just 1 or 2 words. I can see that. Try and keep it as short as we can.
Taking responsibility.
Follow through.
No excuses.
Did I have no excuses?
You're really understanding how what you do affects the larger picture, having that good understanding is the basis of accountability.
So that would be, we could put the, make it a little shorter, a deeper understanding of how it affects others.
Sure.
Is that good?
Sure.
That's okay. There we go. Spelling bee champion there. Other thoughts? What accountability means to you?
Keeping your promises.
It's more so than taking responsibility, maybe accepting blame or taking your part of it.
Okay. I'm going to put accepting blame for acceptance.
Maybe, yeah, it could be accepting compliment.
How often blame? It's a good list. Could accountability be making it count? Like taking ownership? Just kind of taking responsibility as well. Could we add owning it? Owning. Anything else like that? It's very list. So that's what accountability is. But what does accountability look like? If you were to have your vision of what this would look like, what do you think accountability would look like?
Taking action.
Let's put a look over here. Accountability. Taking action? You read that?
Be proactive.
Proactive.
Might look like showing somebody how to do something instead of telling them.
Okay. It's a good start. What does it look like?
I mean, it kind of looks like everything we just, on the other list as well. They're kind of somewhat repetitive, so maybe that's why we're a little bit slow on intake.
That other list doesn't exist?
What I'm looking at is,
Yeah.
Oh, no, you one we just did.
Yeah. Oh, this one.
the
Is there one up here?
definition of accountability.
The definition of accountability.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. I see where that's coming from. Thought we had the blue one up there from the other day. Taking action, proactive, showing us the telling.
Well, you wouldn't see any blank,
Okay,
right? You look at it and that's
so it's not blame,
It's not
you see
about blame.
like positivity.
Yeah. Yeah. Owning actions.
What would accountability sound like? If you were to hear accountability, what would it sound like?
Follow up.
Okay.
Non-confrontational.
Maybe statements of gratitude.
Good. could be almost thankful. Accountability, when things are really going well, you're being accountable for one another. Thankful. Like a thank you. Any other thoughts on the sounds?
Might sound like a positive work environment.
Positivity. You guys feel good about those, the sounds? What would accountability feel like? If it was a feeling, what would accountability feel like to you? Growth? Growth?
Accomplished.
Reward.
I had like refreshing. It's like a breath of fresh air. Is that good for you guys? That's good. Do you have any other feels?
Good morale.
Good morale? I think it could be almost like a sense of security, like maybe feeling very secure.
Safety and comfort, all those things.
Okay. Any others you'd like that? I think that's a very good list. Also, what I noticed is when accountability, what it looks like, what it sounds like, and what it feels like, I see a lot of common attributes. Accomplished, taking action, proactive. The showing instead of telling, follower. The growth, like rewarding, a lot of the same attributes for the, what it looks like, what it sounds like, and what it feels like. Seems pretty, very consistent. Would you agree with that? Do you think we have total accountability in our organization every day, all day? What are your thoughts?
No,
No?
we can all falter.
So, if we look at the questions that are often heard throughout organizations, like Freedom Auto Group, in terms of accountability, I didn't have time, so I didn't pre-write this down. But when you look at questions that are often heard, they could be questions like, who dropped the ball? Or when will they start telling us what they want so we know what to do? Why can't a certain someone in parts or service get things right? Why do we have to go through this? So a lot of times that's what you're going to hear. What do all of those kinds of questions have in common?
Sometimes.
Yeah, they're
Almost
reflecting.
like blaming, right? And that's true. Pretty much what it is. It's a blaming. And all of us have experienced these kind of frustrating circumstances at least once in our lives, or some of us on a regular basis. What results would you think you get from blaming?
Animosity or conflict.
Right?
Confrontation.
Defensiveness.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like doing your best? It affects you.
All negatives.
Mm-hmm. So blaming, it doesn't solve the problems. It just increases frustration. It opens doors for people to react defensively. And it creates barriers to great communication. So focusing on personal accountability, it helps all of us and teams look at our personal and overall responsibilities. And it helps everyone see the big picture and understand how what we do or what we don't do, how it affects others. And that's the focus on personal accountability. What is the benefit of developing personal accountability skills? What's the big benefit?
Increases morale.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Increases morale.
Increases morale? Increases morale.
Yeah, it eliminates a lot of drama, like non-productive communication.
It increases trust. Builds trust.
Well, it helps us stop the blame game. Right? We're not blaming. Any other thoughts about what some of the benefits are to developing personal accountability?
Provides a cohesive work environment. Feels that everybody's working together and not against each other.
Provides working together environment.
Yeah.
Can we get one more? A benefit?
Saves time. You got a good workflow.
Increases productivity.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, it does. What was that one, Noah?
Saves time.
Saves time.
Based off what Greg said, a lot of unnecessary communication, freeing that time up could be used for what increases.
I don't know why I thought of it. Been doing that ever since I was 3. Good, thank you. It's a lot of great benefits. Who wouldn't want to be part of that kind of environment?
Promotion. People who know they're not accountable.
Is it Dick's?
No, they're totally accountable for acting
That's
like
good.
that.
Last resort.
Last resort, yeah, throw that in on the end.
It's in the name. It's in the name. Are you willing to make the commitment to the ACT formula?
You know what?
Since he's
This is right.
Let's not be dicks.
Yeah, that's right.
Even though they're completely accountable for all the wrong reasons.
We have a beeping.
So sorry.
I know, should we?
Is there a section by?
No, on the recording. What did you?
Thank you. Good benefits. Those are some great benefits. Well, when we take great personal accountability seriously, we ask how or what questions, not necessarily who, when, or why questions. Blaming questions always ask who, when, or why. Like who dropped the ball, or when will they, get this done, or who do we? So the personal accountability is more about the how and the why. And what can I do differently that will serve my customers, internal and external, which is us, everybody, better and decrease their complaints. An internal customer is someone it's us, every single one of us, no matter what department we're in. We're customers, and how we treat each other is unbelievably important, as well as our external customers, which is everybody else. Mothers, fathers, teachers, everybody. What can I do to ensure that I'm keeping up with my workload? Questions like, how can I better prioritize my work? Questions like, how can I communicate with my supervisor and coworkers so that I clearly understand what is expected from me? If each one of us takes personal accountability for our actions, our attitudes, and behaviors, we can create a culture where everybody adds value and feels valued, and ideas and innovation are appreciated. Today is a new day. Today we begin to understand and commit to our own success. So the assignment, obstacles and observations. I mentioned the first several lessons. We're all going to be doing the ACT formula. Behaviors and actions do not change without first being aware of their impact. Then with the right tools and practice, we not only change negative behaviors, attitudes, and actions, but we create a more positive working environment based on trust. And if you would, please turn to page 9 to 11 in your guide. And if one of you could please read for me the opening paragraph, to be accountable, please.
Be accountable for your work and your actions always. No excuses. If you drop the ball, know that your teammates' workload, time, and energy will be unnecessarily compromised. Accountable people measure twice, cut once. Accountable people are professional in their thoughts, actions, and appearance. Accountable people improve the quality of their lives and the lives of those around them by just being accountable.
So on page 9, obstacles and observations. What I'd like for you to do is place your participant guide on page 10 and put it in a convenient spot in your work area. And for a period of 2 days, record 6 obstacles that frustrated or angered you or complicated your workday. When recording the obstacle, I want you to first ask yourself, who is the person responsible for creating the obstacle? Is it me or is it someone else? We're not going to be specific, obviously. If you feel that you are responsible party, record the obstacle under the me column. If you feel that someone else is responsible for the obstacle, record the obstacle under the others column. It's not important to record anybody's name. It's more about the obstacle. Was it you? Was it something else? Someone else? When you record the obstacle, keep the description brief. So the important thing is it's about the description. Could be incoming phone calls, not having the right info needed, an endless to-do list where every item is marked urgent and so on. Good, to give you some examples. Next, take each one of the recorded obstacles and consider how they would have been minimized or eliminated if you had applied personal accountability to each and every situation. In the area provided on page 11, prepare a brief written description of how you would have minimized or eliminated the obstacles. Bring it in next time when we get together, which is going to be next Monday at 10:30. And consider your willingness to discuss your observations with the group. So it's more about adding the personal accountability to the me or others throughout your work week. Sound good?
Yep.
This assignment is designed to help everyone look at personal accountability from another perspective. We all have a tendency to blame others when our day goes upside down. Many times we can take some action to minimize or eliminate those obstacles and improve the situation. And remember, the intention here is not to make anybody feel bad, rather than shed some light on what responsibilities might be when concerns or frustrations arise. So before we end today, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go around the room and I would like to know one thing that you took from your experience today, what you learned, what you might have been surprised about, what you realized in this lesson, something important that you've taken away from the lesson. And we'll start over here with Les.
Accountability isn't just one thing, it's a look, sound, or a feel. It's not just a word.
Right.
I think I've learned that the effects of blaming and those behaviors that aren't accountable really have a profound impact on a team's ability to function.
Mm-hmm.
And by supplying a key to an alternative way of looking at things, I think we're on the right track.
I think in order to be able to apply the ACT formula, you have to know your team. And you have to know things like, I've known Noah for a little bit now, and I just found out some things about him just randomly joking around right now, doing the bingo exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sure at some point that may come up, but you never know. But, knowing someone else's thought process, knowing their background, all comes into play, their culture.
I think I got it, starts with me, for accountability. Even just saying the word before we went over all of this stuff, we have the tendency to think about blame, to think about other people, oh, well, these people aren't, it really doesn't matter if you can firm up your own foundation first, so I've got some stuff I can work on with myself.
Yeah, I think we all, it's a continuous work of improvement. I think that's what we do every day. Make a difference and be more accountable and know ourselves a little bit better. Well, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yay.